Cam Smith made the Astros. What does it mean? And more next.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. The best way you can help us grow the show is to listen or watch every day. Joe George joins us for the full episode today. The Locked On Podcast Network hired postcast hosts across several markets, including Chicago, and Joe has been doing postcast for the Bears and Bulls.
Hot
and
Bulls.
Now the Cubs, beginning with Thursday's game. Joe's postcast for the Cubs will be on our audio and video feed. Joe will be the first up live after games on the YouTubes and published first on audio. After Joe, Sam and I will do our regular show as we have been, and you can find that as you have been. But that is a change. That's an addition for the listener, and we wanted you to be aware of that. Joe, how are you doing?
Doing good, guys. I'm ready for Thursday. I'm ready for this domestic opener. I'm ready for baseball. It's been a long off season. Feels like there's a lot of excitement, a lot of questions, but I'm just ready. I'm ready for it to be back, man. I'm ready to go.
I'm doing fine. Thanks, Matt.
8 months after being drafted 14th
All of a
overall,
sudden, I don't
by
have
the
the show
Cubs,
anymore.
Cam Smith made the Astros opening day roster. And we'll
Came
start
and talk.
in right field on Thursday. The time is now, apparently, for the Astros, who are absolutely trying to win the AL West despite losing Kyle Tucker, Ryan Presley, Justin Verlander, Alex Bregman, others. And Smith's path to the majors is pretty unprecedented. He's played just 32 games in the pros, third fewest of any position player in MLB's draft era to make a major league team's opening day roster. Sam, how you feeling with this? Because this was the major story of the offseason. Thought Cam Smith would have an impact on the Astros, but already?
Not great. Look, so when this news broke, the first thing I did, which I've, by the way, gotten in the habit of doing because I think it's good for the show, is I went back and I watched my Kyle Tucker instant reaction. And the second thing that I pointed out after discussing the deal and my excitement was one of the best parts about this deal is that it puts the Cubs in win now mode, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. And what did they do next? They signed Colin Ray. They traded for Ryan Presley because they didn't want to go spend for a reliever. They struck out on Bregman. They struck out on Tanner Scott. They signed a utility guy, Justin Turner. My point is this, Matthew. It's that, yes, Cam Smith might be awesome, but it really becomes a moot point if the Cubs made a deep run into October. Nobody is making fun of the Yankees because they lost Juan Soto after 1 year, because they came within 3 games of a world championship, and they wouldn't even have sniffed that without him. What upsets me is we're going into this season, and congratulations to Cam Smith, and you know, I don't like to wish any kid not success, but what's frustrating is we're going into this season and, you know, 86, maybe 87. You got him at 87. When you make a deal like the one you made for Kyle Tucker and you give up a player, I don't care about Paredes. He wasn't going to hit here. So that was fine. I don't care about Bellinger. I just wish they used the money better. But when you give up a high ceiling type player for 1 year of Kyle Tucker, one of two things has to be true. You're going to feel really good about your chances for a deep playoff run, or you're going to feel really good about your ability to extend him. And right now, as a Cub fan, I don't feel great about either.
Joe?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think this just puts all the pressure on Jed Hoyer for this season. If this doesn't go well for them, you're going to see changes in the front office because they, like Sam said it perfectly, they're trying to look like they are positioned for a team that can compete, you know, into the playoffs and try to go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. And once you're in the playoffs, like, anything can happen. We all know that. We've seen the best teams in baseball history lose before they get to the World Series. So, like, anything's possible. But with Cam Smith making the opening day roster, ironically, in right field, where Kyle Tucker is going to be playing, a position he's never played in the big leagues. Like he's played like 6 spring training games. And it's been a disaster at times. Like they're really just saying, screw it. Like, let's bring him up there. He makes us better. And while the Cubs have the better player this year, I'm not sure which team's going to go farther. Like, and that's what I think kind of adds to it as well. Like if you go, division for division and how far they're going to go in the American League and in the National League, if the Cubs don't even go farther than the Astros in the playoffs and Kyle Tucker leaves, it feels like a really tough trade, honestly. I don't know if it's Dylan Cease all over again, but it kind of feels like that's where we're headed. I'm still a little hopeful they'll find a way to get Kyle Tucker, but it's surprising that Cam Smith is on the opening day roster for sure.
Well, Joe's based in Houston, host, producer, assistant program director for 97.5 down there in Houston. I have the frequency, right, Joe?
Yep, you got it right. Yep.
He has never played defense before. I mean, I laughed when you said the 6 games, but he hasn't played outfield aside from I believe a few collegiate summer league games. Why are the Astros doing this? I mean, I understand he raked in spring, but we always take that with a grain of salt.
They're looking at this. Their outfield to me is the exact opposite of the Cubs right now. So the Cubs, you've got Hap, Peter Crow-Armstrong, Kyle Tucker. You feel really good about that. Plus you have Suzuki. The Astros have Jose Altuve in left field, which has been a disaster in the spring. I mean, he's dropped 2 easy pop-ups because he was scared of the guy leaving third base. You have Chas McCormick and Jake Myers, who've been a liability for them in the playoffs and in the regular season, and they were going to be your center fielder and right fielder. And Chas McCormick has a noodle for an arm. So this move, it feels like it just adds to the depth of their lineup, and they're clearly willing just to say, we're going to put 2 guys in the corners who can't really play Gold Glove defense, and we're just going to risk it and just deal with it. And plus, if you look at Dana Brown, his history with the Atlanta Braves, he's part of that group that locked up all those Braves players right when they came up. And he fast-tracked guys in Atlanta to the bigs. Like, this is extreme, obviously, what he's doing, but it's also kind of like his trend to push guys through to the bigs and not waste their times in the minors.
Couple of things. So you mentioned the Jose Quintana trade for Cease.
Mm-hmm.
When they traded for Jose Quintana, he still had years of control. And in 2017, when they got him midway through that year, he helped take them to the National League Championship Series. I think that would be a wildly successful season if Tucker helped do that, right? So you're looking at something that's potentially worse. However, you have to take it with a grain of salt, okay? Cam Smith has not had a major league at bat yet. I don't want to spend the entire season worrying about that. I want to worry about what's in front of us because there's plenty there to keep us busy. Shout out to Herb Brooks and Miracle, second time in a week. But I think it's interesting, Matt, and I'd like to hear your opinion on this, is what do you feel like? Let's play the assumption game. And
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed right now.
Well, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh.
Let's play the assumption game and assume that Cam Smith's going to be a good player at some point, and let's assume that Kyle Tucker's not going to be a Cub after this year. What do the Cubs need to get to? Is there a win total, a playoff round to say, hey, I'm glad they took this swing?
Well, they haven't made the playoffs since 2018. They haven't won a playoff game since 2017. So both of those need to happen.
Not counting COVID, right?
Right. So both of those need to happen. And you could make a case that the run needs to hit a certain mark, but I'm going to start there.
Okay.
And Sam, I think we should start considering some of this stuff before you pose the question, because I don't want to bring this up every day. Yeah. I want to savor the games without looking at the big picture every day. It's baseball. It's a companion sport. This season will be the last before next year against the backdrop against Rock'em Sock'em Robots of the labor war. So this season really isn't on an island to enjoy.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about Cam Smith after today. We're not going to talk about Kyle Tucker going to the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, whoever the front runner is. Maybe the Phillies for him, because I've done the homework on it. But I'll save that for a future show. But it is annoying. It is annoying. They just drafted him 8 months ago, and I'm not the doom scroller, but I am wondering what happens if this dude has a better year than Kyle Tucker, who is already a superstar talent.
That won't happen.
It gives me pause. It is a worrying. I think this does say more about the Astros situation. And some of the pitching that Cam Smith faced, respectfully, wasn't good in this past month. But not the timing. The timing there's something with that as well.
Last thing too, don't overlook the Cubs' business situation. Kyle Tucker helped them save money, but still makes people interested and put people in the seats. The TV deal's been really tough. This makes people want to watch the Cubs. All those things are a part of making a deal like that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, there was some roster moves or announcements really on Tuesday from Sloan in Mesa, including about Ben Brown. So let's get to that right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Right here, and I've upgraded to the bigger bag, I have the chili roasted flavor that I have been loving for quite a while now. I'm a grazer throughout the day, guys. I don't have time for a full meal in the middle of work. So if I'm in between meetings or equipment runs, these little green wonders pack the protein punch I need to get me through the day. And I can't recommend the chili roasted kind enough. It is absolutely packed with flavor. So get snacking and get cracking with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
The Cubs announced on Tuesday that Ben Brown has won the 5th starter's job to begin the year. Before his injury last year, Brown posted a 3.23 ERA in 39 innings as a starter, while walking 14 and striking out 43. A whip of 0.97. Wow. Colin Ray was the other contender for the spot, with Javier Assad, Jordan Wicks, Cade Horton, and others opening the campaign at AAA. All right, first Sam, then Joe. I found this encouraging because Ben Brown, cited with those stats, has a very high ceiling. Nice to see that he'll open the year in the show.
Yeah, definitely a ceiling-raising move. Have not loved his spring so far, plus his outing in Japan. And it's this. Here's the thing with Brown. He's going to have to figure out a way to make his changeup, his third pitch, what's the word? Valuable or respected by hitters, because he just hangs his curve too much, man. I mean, and it's everything. He hung one today, gave up a 2-run homer to Brian De La Cruz. His outing today, 4 1/3, 6 hits, a walk, a lot of traffic. 5.84 ERA in spring. Then add in getting hit in Japan. It's just I like Ben Brown a lot. I think at the very worst, you're going to have a very, very valuable late reliever. But, Lance Brozdowski on Marquee today was just explaining the way that curveball is. It's just going to hang every now and then. And when it does, it just gets smashed. And I support the move wholeheartedly because I think it makes the Cubs rotation more dangerous. And this rotation needs a ceiling raiser, Matt, as you alluded to. But I'm just nervous that second time through the order when guys start to time that curveball and he hangs it, if it's not going to be, a couple long balls every start.
Yeah, I really like the move. I think that for these postcast shows, I feel like those are going to be the ones that I'm going to pencil in as the most stressful to prepare for because it feels like his starts are going to be kind of all over the place. this year. Like, that's just what I'm expecting. Like, he's going to have starts where I think we're going to see him be phenomenal and everything you want him to be. And then, like Sam's saying, like that curveball, like he might not make it out of the second inning of some starts. Like, I just feel like there's going to be a wide variance in what we get from him this year, but I like the aggressiveness with it too. Like, I don't need Colin to be the fifth starter. We know what that guy is. Like, I'd rather go for a move that's a little bit different and just a little more exciting for, not that you have to placate the fans, but it's a ceiling raiser is a great way to put it, guys. Like, it raises your ceiling, and you have a season to where you feel confident about the guys in front of him in the rotation. So if you have one guy that's a little more hit or miss, like that's fine. So I like this move a lot.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. What's the other options?
Yeah.
Colin Ray, no thank you. Jordan Wicks would be my other choice if there were another option. Assad's hurt.
Horton not ready.
Horton not ready, and it seems like Brad Keller's destined for that reliever role. And Matt, you made I don't know if you were joking or not, but with the way the high leverage relievers are trending, I wouldn't be surprised if right around Easter time he was getting high leverage innings.
Well, Easter's late this year, but Brad Keller, he should be a prime high leverage relief option, I believe.
98.
Again, well, he's topped out at 98. He's sat 96. 3 or 4 pitch guy, 13 strikeouts, 2 walks this spring, almost 12 frames for the right-hander who pitched for the both Sox last year, white and red, and then a long career as a starter with the Royals and KC. Yeah, Keller's had a very positive spring. He was in that paragraph at one point to be a starter, and the Cubs pivoted from that. And with the way the bullpen has trended so far, and with its history, certainly with some concern there to open the campaign, I would like to see Keller get an opportunity, and I'd like to see that happen as soon as this Thursday. Really, why wait? Please don't wait anymore. And so that's what I would have to say about him. Because if we listed the dudes that could hit 98 on the Cubs, I mean, let's do it. Can we play the game now?
Sure.
Brad Keller, Ben Brown, who else?
Maybe Hodge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Hodge.
Pearson,
maybe
Merriweather.
I was just going to say Merriweather. Forgot about Pearson.
Pearson's hitting about 101 these days.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's throwing hard. Listen, I think this staff is reminiscent of this team. I kind of like it in some ways. There's some flashes. Joe, who's a guy, because we talk about this all the time, so it's nice to have another voice. Like, who's a guy, whether it's in the rotation or on this, the bullpen that you think could really – I like to – with bullpen guys, I like to use the word flash. Like, flash? Who's going to be like, man, get this guy some innings?
I mean, I think for the rotation, it's not even like, can he flash, but maybe the guy I'm most interested in of, like, repeat performance is Jameson Taillon. Like, it's just like, what is he going to be on this team? I think it's just – because I hated when the Cubs brought him in, to be honest. Like, I did not like that move when it first happened. Yeah. Was pleasantly surprised last year with what he did. And, like, if he can repeat that, I think it just makes you feel better about everything. I do think – I mean, Sam, I saw your tweets the other day about Ryan Presley.
Man, you were the first one.
I know. I know.
The first one to get me aware of the Stressley stuff.
Yeah, it's been worse than I thought.
Awful.
It's been worse since you appeared on the show with Sam.
It's my fault. My fault. But man, it's been tough.
In Japan, he threw 4 strikes, 16 pitches.
Yeah, it's not so.
Well,
the answer is Ryan Presley's got to figure it out, or he's Hector Neris 2.0.
Hector Neris, he makes Hector Neris look like Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah, I as someone that is like, this is my I am a Cubs fan. I have been since I was born.
Diehard Cubs fan, right, Joe?
Yeah, like I grew up in Huntley, Illinois. Like Was at the World Series in 2016. Like my dad and I had season tickets. I just work in Houston. I think trading for a pitcher from the Houston Astros is the worst thing you could do in baseball. They are the best pitching coaches in the sport. If they don't want someone, there's a reason. And we saw it with Hector Neris, and I feel like we're seeing it with Presley. But he's the guy in the bullpen. Like, I just feel like it hinges on him, man. Like, you think about the other guys and like what your question was originally, just like, what do you want to see more of, more innings? I feel like when we're asking for more innings, it's going to be to replace Presley the way this has gone.
But I will say this. Let me say this. I think the bullpen's deep enough to where it doesn't hinge on anyone. The key to Matt's point is if Presley comes out and he's bad for 3-4 straight outings, you got to give him the quick hook to low leverage and go, hey, Merriweather looks good. Boom. Keller looks good. Boom. You know, things of that nature. I mean, we haven't even spoke about Ryan Brazier. Oh, goodness. You know, that hasn't gone well. But I like Pearson. I like Merriweather. I still think Ben Brown could be an option there late. You know, Cade. They have depth there. It's just how is Craig going to be? How much goodwill is there? Hey, Ryan, you're a veteran. You've closed World Series games before. We're going to let you fight through this because, you know, we've been there before.
I hope very little. Give him the quick hook.
Vidal Brujan might begin the year on the IL. We're still awaiting word on that.
Not laughing at the injury, just the transition, folks.
He has an elbow injury. Gage Workman then would likely make the opening day roster unless there's something that I'm missing. All right, we're going to play 0 to 100 with Joe right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Folks, if you're anything like me and you're not a big cook, you live alone, you spend way too much money on delivery services and takeout, Monarch Money is for you. It'll help you budget smarter and save more. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off, half off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, they're free. Their free Trademaster program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5, that's SH5, for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
We're playing 0 to 100 to close out the show.
I got 3.
And we'll start with Sam.
I have 3. I have 2 for Joe and 1 for you, Matt.
Great.
And you can answer Joe's too. Great. Joe, well, first of all, I have to. We did the division 0 to 100. The Cubs win the division. I'm not going to tell you where Matt was. I'm not going to tell you where I was. Give us the percentage 0 to 100 that the Chicago Cubs. We get the first banner in Locked On Cubs history since we've been hosting NL Central champions.
I'm going to go. Gosh, I feel like there's a big move at the deadline that happens for the rotation.
Yeah, hopefully it's not trading Kyle Tucker.
Yes. I'm gonna go 60%.
Okay, so you're the highest.
Okay. By a lot?
I was 54, Brian Urlacher, and Matt just think this team's just
33%, Joe.
Matt!
Yeah, well, Matt's probably going to be right. All right.
Well, I also said 87 wins. What's Joe's win prediction?
I think I said 90 when I was on with Sam.
90.
Yeah, I think they get to 90.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, Joe, second one. So, Matthew, you're talking about, could Kyle Tucker or Cam Smith have a better year than Kyle Tucker? Where I think it would be really a bad look for this organization would be if Cam Smith had a better year than Matt Shaw.
Unequivocally.
Because I think Matt Shaw could have went in that deal. I do believe that.
Yeah, there was murmurs.
Yeah, but the Cubs decided to hold on to him. So, Joe, I ask you, 0 to 100, Cam Smith has a better rookie season than Matt Shaw.
Wow, that's a great question.
That's a great question. I'm going to go.
Thanks, guys. You know that I do this. This is what I do. Call me Kobe White from 3, baby.
Yeah. Just depends on the night, though, because sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. It's been good lately. Yeah. I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to factor in defense here a little bit. I'm going to say.
I'm done with them.
I'm going to say like 40% chance.
40% chance that Cam Smith has the better rookie year.
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah.
Let's see. Cam Smith, Matt Shaw. A lot of Cam Smith buzz right now. I might be believing the buzz. 51.
Yeah, it's so interesting, right? Because Matt Shaw theoretically should have the better rookie year because Cam Smith is so ceiling based. And it's like, it might take some time, but after watching him in the spring, and it looks like Matt Shaw, isn't quite there yet. I'm going to say it's man, I still think Shaw's going to.
Is there a certain home run total that Cam Smith gets that makes it a clear answer?
Yeah, well, I think if he hits like 30 plus.
Okay,
I'll say it's 50. I'll say right now it's based off of the spring. I'm going to go 50-50. But you got to remember, Matt Shaw's going to be much better defensively.
Yep, that's why I think that gives him the advantage for sure.
All right, and then Matt, I got one for you. We don't typically do this on this show.
Right.
But do you know where I'm going with this or
no? I just
okay, because it sounded like you did. So, we don't typically do this on this show, but I think it's appropriate because opening day is coming. We're like 25 subscribers away from 13,000 on YouTube. Matt, 0 to 100 by the time Zach Gallen throws his first pitch to Ian Happ, which will be a ball on the outside corner called a strike to start the year. What percentage do you have that we are at the 13,000 subscriber mark so we could start the year fresh with a round number?
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think it's going to be, I would say 90%.
I think it's going to be 100%.
Okay.
Hey guys, I don't ever.
Yeah. As we're recording, we're only 29 away.
Oh, I even said 25. Guys, yeah. I don't beg for subs, but Thursday night. Come on. So those are my 3. Everyone else have one?
Yeah, I got one for you guys.
Okay. Perfect.
0 to 100. You guys make it more than 10 shows without talking about Cam Smith. I'm calling your bluff from earlier. I'm calling it.
Yeah, that's a great question.
You said 0 to 100. We make it more than 10 episodes.
Yes.
Any mention at all, right?
Yeah. More than a passing mention, like a conversation.
Oh, we won't have a conversation, but we'll for sure. I'll mention it a lot when I'm frustrated.
Okay.
So if you want to do a mention, it's less than 10%. It'll probably be the first time it's a home run. I'll have some sort of dig, but I don't think we'll do a segment on it for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think it's a low percentage, so I'll say 20.
Joe, do you feel like right now, and I wish I could put my finger on it. Maybe it's a little bit Cam Smith. Maybe it's a little bit the Japan series. Maybe it's a little bit that Hodge and Presley haven't looked competent. I don't have the vibes that I want to have going into Thursday. Do you have good vibes? Are you excited for your first postcast Thursday night? Are you excited for opening day in Arizona?
So I definitely hear what you're saying. I agree. Like the vibes are down a little bit. It's a little more, a little more gloom than I think we would be feeling. I think a lot of it's just the Japan series, though.
You're
I mean,
right.
I know Tucker hasn't been great in spring. The Cam Smith that happening, as we're recording, like right before we recorded the podcast, I think definitely factors in. But I think it's mostly just the Japan series was so tough. I mean, look, for Cubs fans, like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch a baseball team and your team not be overly competitive is a really tough start to the season. And then I think to then have to sit on it for, 2 weeks or whatever, is even worse. So I think that's why it's not super high. Personally, I'm so stoked to be doing this just because I love, this is my team. I love the Bears. I love the Bulls. We did Notre Dame, too. Notre Dame was a lot of fun throughout the college football playoff.
Please
but,
don't mention
Wow,
Notre Dame on this show, please.
Notre
I know
Dame, you did Notre Dame postcasts?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's what most people in Illinois root for.
Wow,
Yeah, not us. Huge transfer news today, by the way, Matt, for you in Iowa basketball.
So, Joe, Joe will be on our channel after games, 15-minute postcasts, right?
Yeah, 15 to
And,
20 minutes, yeah.
We're gonna and postcast. What was that? The plan to be in the title, all caps, still, Joe?
Yeah, so you'll see it. You'll be able to see. So the title will say Cubs postcast, and then whatever happened in that game. And then we'll be going just, 15, 20 minutes. As long as there's not a walk-off homer, we'll be live basically as soon as the 24th or 27th out happens.
It's unreal.
So
Yeah,
we'll be
amazing.
fired up. So, I mean, for the modest 31-point game, Giddy near quadruple double after the Lakers, we were on as soon as that buzzer sounded since that game was wrapped up. So we'll be on as soon as the games wrap up.
Hey, piece of good news before we get out of here, Matt. Yesterday, remember I was reading the FanDuel ad? Arizona was minus 175 Thursday night.
Yeah.
In less than 24 hours, that's tumbled all the way down to minus 135. Maybe I had some impact over the line. I don't know.
Wow, that's significant.
So now the
actually.
Cubs, a nice, healthy plus 115, very winnable underdog. Maybe Justin Steele, a friend of the show, goes in and dominates this Diamondbacks team.
Joe, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I'm honored to be part of the channel and you guys welcoming in the way you have. Excited to be doing these postcast shows, to me talking to all these Cubs fans. So appreciate you guys for letting me do that and for having me on the show.
Sam and I will be back on Thursday to preview Cubs and Diamondbacks. For Joe George, Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy, and you are now Locked On Cubs.
See ya.